What is up, everybody? Welcome to the awesome, excellent early access event for Magic the Gathering Arena Core 2021. And wow. I'm very excited to be doing this, everybody. I never thought I would be doing this, boy, I would have loved to have done this for Ikoria, but this is great. Want to say big thank you to Wizards of the Coast for inviting me to this, for giving me this free account, and to make all of this happen. Now, as you all may or may not be aware, this is not actually being streamed. Normally I would be streaming this. However, during this whole streamer event, Twitch Blackout is currently happening. And Twitch Blackout is currently going on as an effort to kind of take a stand and speak out against things like abuse, sexual harassment and assault, racism, homophobia, transphobia, all of these kind of things. And because I'm not streaming, that's good. So let's, what I would highly recommend all of you do here is I would suggest going and taking a look, take some time to check out some of the various donation groups, charities, what have you, that are related to a lot of these things. We have currently the Black Lives Matter movement going on, which there is this website here. You've probably seen it before. And this, as well as the other links I'm about to mention, will be in the description below. So if you want to check them out, there you go. There's all different kinds of things in this. This is obviously the donation page, but this is the opening, the top page, ways you can help. The protests, petitions, texting or calling, donations, voting, more resources. And there's a ton of information in this. So definitely check it out. Consider donating to some of these places, or if not any of these, you can also check out Rain, who takes a stance against sexual assault and things like that. You can check out the Trevor Project, who helps support LGBTQ members, or you can help the Trans Lifeline, who specifically work with transgender, non-binary folk. I myself I'm actually transgender myself. Some of you may or may not know this. I talk about it pretty decently on Twitter. But I think these are all very important things. We need to be talking about these more. We really do, especially right now in this time. Inclusivity is really, really important. We need to be seeing more of this in our lives, in our community, and so on and so forth. I'm really bad at talking like this, so I apologize to those of you who may think I'm doing a poor job of it. But I think these are very important things that need to be talked about. I myself haven't really been through very much of that. I've dealt with a bit of transphobia, homophobia, particularly when I was younger. But yeah, so worth taking a stand against that. And I do want to acknowledge and thank Wizards of the Coast for allowing streamers like myself who want to participate in Twitch Blackout to have alternatives. Instead of streaming, we're able to do these VODs that you're watching now. So I'm very excited to be a part of this. And meantime, we're going to get into the Core Set 2021 Early Access event. And I'm very excited to play this. I have pulled up just a handful of decks. I've pulled up, there's a mono green Stompulus that looked pretty cool, and a 5-color Shrines deck for Standard. Not for Historic, but for Standard. But as you can tell, I missed some cards. So, as it turns out, when I was poking through my collection here, I have 4 of each card from every set from Throne of Eldraine backwards. But I don't have anything really for Theros Beyond Death, Ikoria Lair of Behemoths, and of course, Core Set 2021. So, we're going to do this instead. As you can't really tell because of my overlay up the top here, I've got like 1,000,000 gems, folks. So I can do some things to make a few of these look really nice and shiny, which I'll probably do before. Oh, I haven't changed this. I should probably change that while I'm thinking about while I'm right here. Oh, let's change it to
Through this land, we are all connected.
But like, I'll probably go through and spruce these up, give him the old bling card style treatment. So that should be really cool and really fun. But first, before we get into this, we gotta crack the packs because we opened some stuff. I have a ton of wild cards, as you can see here. But I figure, why not? Let's open some packs, have some fun with it. We're not gonna do these one at a time or anything. Maybe for like the first 10, but after that I want to do these like openings of 10, just so we can kind of move along and we can get to the meat, like the real package of like the actual good content, which includes obviously games with some of the decks that we're playing. So we can play some Stompy, we can play some Shrines. I want to brew up a Peer into the Abyss Underworld Dreams combo deck. It's not going to be good, but if I can get a few wins out of it, then I'll be happy. And last but not least, I want to play some Sealed. I really love Sealed, but it's kind of pricey. So I feel like I just don't get the opportunities really necessarily to be able to play it. But we got free access here, so we're going to go in on it. And I sure am looking forward to it, honestly. But first, let's go get a little pack crack happy. So let's see what we can do here. All right, folks, let's crack them packs. Oh, you can hear that even. Hear that? That little crinkling noise. Oh, we love it. So we're gonna start with we're just gonna kind of go in order here. We're gonna save the best for last with all the new stuff in Core 2021. We're gonna open cards from There's Beyond Death. We're gonna open a few cards from Ikoria, and then we're gonna crack the Core 2021 packs. And anything else that I might need for any of the decks that I want to play, we'll just round out with wild cards. Make it easy so we don't have to sit here and just open packs all day long. But I figure this would be a cool little way to start us off. So let's crack it open, see what we get. Boom. First all around. Nylia, guys. And remember, we're just opening the first 10. Bronze-Hide Lion, sure. I like that Shrine is in the background for that art. If you can probably see it there a little bit. That's really cool. I love that they brought the Shrines back. Like, that was a cool little thing from all the way back in Kamigawa. And now we actually have it here. They brought the Hondins back for Historic. And now we can do it this way. So, extra in. Saw that Archon there. That was really good. We got a nice little box there. Nezian Boar. Banishing Light, always a good one. Tarnika. I'm probably totally botching that. I did that a whole lot when we were playing when we were doing the else back.
The time to fight is now. Hear
that? Jeez. Alright, so now we're just going to open by 10, and this will only show us the rares. And this way we can just, again, blitz through here, get through these real quick, open these packs, have a good time. What do we get? Nice. Clothis, Dream Trawler. And this would be cool, too, if I decide to actually brew, but unfortunately, I'm getting a bit of a late start today. I am getting a bit of a late start today, so it's, yeah. I might actually just do the packs like this from now on, instead of doing the one at a time kind of thing. And we'll just do all, like, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Just so we can kind of go through these, because these are actually going through pretty quickly. It's showing us the meat of the packs. Like, this looks just really cool laid out like this, not gonna lie. Oh, man. Alright. Bunch of wild cards. Like, we need many more of those, huh? Still have those. Cool. We're best the Sea God. Love to see it. More Nylia nonsense. More wild cards. Uh-oh. Is Arena hecking up? I was running into some slowdowns earlier, so I'm hoping that this doesn't. There we go. There are a lot of people trying to access this through the specialty account. Thank you, Wizards of the Coast. Hashtag sponsored. Didn't really get a good look at that one. Just kind of went through it too quickly. Hey, Nick Bloom Ancient. Calyx, huh? We actually need Calyx too, so that's a good one. Nice. Loves. Nylia, yeah. So now you can also get a look at, like, this is what you get out of 180 packs from one set. We only hit 2 Elspeths in 180 packs. It's kind of ridiculous. But thank God for wild cards, right? Because, boy, howdy. Alright, so that is the Theros Beyond Death packs. Let's move on to these Ikoria packs to see what kind of sweet goodies we get out of this. Yes. Mutate. I want to see Mutate actually put in some more work. Like, I feel like we have not really seen too much from this ability yet. And I think it has a lot of room for good use and everything. We'll see a bit of Gem Razor later, but that's really about it so far. And Gyruda. Like, I've been loving me Gyruda in a whole bunch of different places, but Companion got nerfed, you know, to hell and back. So, yeah, that's we're not gonna probably play that one at all, but I love me some Garuda action. Play a lot of Garuda in standard, slash standard. What is ultimate? Luris. Do not want. You broke too many formats, Luris. You're not allowed. Crystalline Giant. I've been enjoying this card in Tempered Steel lists in Historic. I might play some of those. Maybe not today during the early access event, but I probably will in the future. So this is cool. We got some more of those companions, Luminous, some lands. This is a cool thing. Like, Ikoria is just great in terms of value. There's a lot of good stuff to hit. Ultimatums, meet those cards. Just a lot of great stuff in Ikoria. Like, Ikoria was just a fantastic set. Great product filled with a ton of great cube cards, DH cards. I love the set. Yorion, get out of here. I don't want to. Ooh, General Kudra. I like me some humans decks. General Kudra is really good with that, so very happy for that. Want them to replace this artwork, but, you know, it's going to take time, so we'll give them the opportunity they need to get to that. Some more companion nonsense, some more lands. We like to see these lands, as always. And as you can start to tell, like, opening like 10 at a time, you can see more of those cycles really come through. Winota is unplayable in like any format on Arena currently. Unbelievable. Awesome. Ooh, Vivian. Vivian's awesome. We like to see us some Vivian. Narset, alright. Kinnan. So we're starting to see a little bit more on the Mythic side, and that's understandable because we've already opened a whole ton of the rares. Shark Typhoon, that's really the first Shark Typhoon out of all of these packs. Unbelievable. What do we got? More lures, more lands. And last 10 packs for this. Ooh, another Crystalline Giant, another Vivian, another Narset. Nice! So this was really exciting. I really like those cards, but I've seen a lot of those over the last few weeks. So really, they've been kind of unimpressive to me, and I haven't been able to really talk about them. Or I've talked about them too much. I've seen them. They've been all over my Twitter feed. I'll think, kind of things like that. So instead, we are going to just go ahead and check out some of these cards because I think I'll have a few more things to say about Core Set 2021, because Core Set 2021 is a really, really sweet Magic set, and I'm very excited to see what kind of awesome nonsense we pull out of these. So we can talk about some of these cards, because Core Set 2021 has a lot of awesome cards that I recognize. I love them, and it's actually a really sweet Magic set. So let's crack the packs and let's see what we get. First 10 packs is... Wow, Sublime Epiphany. I love this card. I think it's really good. You can't really see it over the... because my face is in the way. But this card is great. It's like Cryptic Command on crack. Costs a little bit more, but it's fantastic. Primal Command, or Primal Might. Like that sweet Galta artwork. Love it. Garruk Unleashed. We're actually going to be playing a little bit of Garruk later, so that's really exciting. Conspicuous Snoop. Really good card for Modern. I haven't actually seen this card. That's interesting. Rogues? I've heard talk that Rogues are back. Rada! Katie Bates, right there. Love it. Brash Taunter. So I saw Brash Taunter, and my take on this card was like, this is sweet. So for those of you who might not know, Stuffy Doll was a card that existed in Time Spiral. And it was meant to riff off of the little doll that was always in a lot of the arts getting hurt in the earlier days of Magic. Things like, what was it? The Rack, Black Vice, Cursed Rack. I know there was like a couple other, like one or two other cards that had it as well, but I can't remember what they were offhand. And it was more or less this. It was 5 mana, indestructible. It was a 0/1, not a 1/1. And when it came into play, you chose a player, and whenever damage was dealt to Stuffy Doll, you would deal it to that much damage to that player, and you could tap the Stuffy Doll to target or to deal 1 damage to itself. But because it's indestructible, it actually would just hurt the opponent, and the Stuffy Doll would stay around on the board. So this is kind of like a little bit better of that, right? You know, you can make it fight another creature, so it actually deals a lot of damage. And it targets when it does it, so you don't just target one player and you're set on that player. You can do multiple different players if you're on like EDH or something. This card is really sweet, and I'm looking forward to playing it in Commander Commander games going forward. Animal Sanctuary. So I saw Animal Sanctuary, and this is like one of those cards that I look at the set and I just go, this set just like has, this is like the whole set just has some sweet, like some really intense silver border energy. I'm telling you, like this feels like a lot like an unset with a lot of these card arts. Some of the things they're talking about, obviously, like there's a huge focus on cats and dogs. And it's like, what? This is a core set? It's wild. Basriket, the new Planeswalker. He's kind of like meant to replace Gideon in a bit. So I actually really haven't seen this card very much. Put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature. It gains indestructible until end of turn. That's really good. -2 whenever 1 or more non-token creatures attacks this turn. Create that many 1/1 white soldier tokens that are tapped. Wow. So you can just like a huge board of creatures and attack. That thing is sick. I don't even pay attention to the ultimates most of the time. They're kind of usually irrelevant. 9 lives is really cute. Necromentia. Baron. Baron's really interesting. Like, he's not like a crazy good card, but he's like a really sweet addition to a lot of things. Cubes like him, and there's going to be obviously some fantastic EDH decks built around this guy. Like, he's great. Meanwhile, then you got Karavek, and like Karavek, I mean, the card is fine. It's going to be played in some capacity, but it's kind of boring. Which Karavek was a really cool card, really cool character. Showed up in Time Spiral with a really sweet card, Karavek the Spiteful. So a little disappointed with this one, but I really like it all the same. Glorious Anthem is obviously the classic, but I love that they brought in the Raymond Swanland artwork. That's great. Chandra's Incinerator, like this card is ridiculous, and I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of mono red decks are playing this card going forward. Flip another 10, see what you get this time. Terror of the Peaks, that one's cool. Solemn Simulacrum, everybody. Sad Robot is back. I'm looking forward to playing with him quite a bit. Azusa, like I don't know what they were thinking. Azusa, when there was like Ramp is already kind of terrorizing the game a bit. Like it's ridiculous. Whew. Man, lots talking Watson. But yeah, and then we just had a bunch of people sitting there. Hopefully we get something fresh. Sanctum of All. So, fun fact, I had that shrine, the shrine deck, but Sanctum of All actually is not in the list. This was the list that I pulled offline, and it wasn't playing Sanctum of All. Don't know really why, but you know what? Go with it. Might try and brew some historic later and do like the actual Hoden's deck with like gates and everything. But I think this is fine for now, and so that's really cool. I like that they brought the shrines back and that they did it with a card like Shrine or Sanctum of All. Containment Priest. Containment Priest is here. What? Spark Hunter Masticore is great, like sideboard tech against Planeswalkers. I mean, just lots of good stuff here. No mythics, though, yeah. Not a single mythic on this page. That's unfortunate. Spore Web Weaver. There was a combo with this, and I think the Terror card? Forget. I see this card, and all I hear in my head is dun 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 dun. And, that opening riff for Blood and Thunder from Mastodon. Yeah. Break your backs with blood and thunder. Yeah, anyway. So we got Rune Halo, though. That's a sweet one. Demonic Embrace. I think this card is really cool. I don't think it's that good, but it's cool. Garrick's Harbinger. Come on, give me some mythics. Let's talk about some mythics. It just needs bossery, but that's boring. Jolriel, like I'm super stoked that we got another Jolriel card. I never even saw that token. That token is amazing. What? I need like 1 million of that cat token. Oh my god. Like there's a lot of cat. Oh my. Like it's just so nice. So fun fact, I actually, as you can probably tell behind me, I've got a little bit of artwork in the background. What I'm going to have going forward at some point, we're still waiting on them to get finalized and everything, but I joined in on the Kickstarter for the folios, and I'm going to be getting Spirit Link because I always love the artwork for Spirit Link, the Kaya folio art. It's just so nice. And it's got Jolriel on it. So seeing Jolriel come back again like this was just so cool. I loved her card in Prophecy, and it was actually one of the good things about Prophecy was her. So very excited to see her back, and with actually she's kind of a powerhouse. So you'll love to see it. Scavenging Ooze, like me some Scavenging Ooze. Viewline Sovereign. See the Truth is a cool card. Like Anticipate is a decent card by itself. And this is just a souped up version of it. Teferi's Ageless Insight is kind of like, oh god, what is it? It kind of like works with like Howling Mines and such. So that's a really sweet little card. Let's go for 10 more. Only one new one that I haven't really looked at. Oh, did I open a pack leader already and I missed it somehow? Because he will be your loyal champion. And his pack, Your Protectors. All I ask for is a full belly, spot by the fire, and the love of your heart. All the love in your heart. Like, I just love this card. I love the flavor of it. It's so great. And we got the Elder Gargaroth, too. So, all good things. All good things. Gargaroth is great. It's a cool little card. It's not particularly that exciting in the context of... you know, what modern standard, what current day standard looks like right now. It's just not very exciting. Niambi does some interesting stuff, but you know what I really like? I like this one. Chromatic Orrery. Like, I'm looking forward to playing with this card. I need a foil one for my Shroom deck, like Stat, because it just fits so well in there and, like, breaks things, like, automatically. I love it. Alright, let's see what else we got. Heroic Intervention. That's awesome, great reprint, and definitely going to be seeing a ton of standard play. And it'll really help push some of those like green stompy decks back into it. Chandra, Heart of Fire. This card is absurd. Like, I had to read this a couple times. I'm like, am I really reading this? This card is great. Mangara is an effort to give mono white decks and white in general card draw, because I haven't really had that before, and that's just awesome. We love that. All right. It's a really unique way about going about it too. So, all right. Let's talk about some of these cards. So Shacklegeist up there in that top right corner. It's a cool little card. It's good for spirits and like modern Pioneer, all that kind of stuff. Not quite sure how good it is, but I mean, it's a 2/2 flyer for 2 mana, and it taps down other creatures. Like, I mean, that just seems really good to me, you know? Volcanic Salvo is great for limited. Sabira, very nice. Discontinuity. I'm totally going to mispronounce that all the time, but I really think this card is cool. Wait, what? Okay, so I did not read this card correctly before. So I thought this was just Time Stop, that instead of casting for 6 mana, you can cast it for 4 mana. I'm rereading this card now, and it says as long as it's your turn, this card costs 2 blue less to cast. What that means is it costs a whole 2 mana if you do this on your turn. That seems a little ridiculous. So you cut out like end of turn clauses, and oh man, that card is ridiculous. Ugh. I love it. I know people were talking about this card was going to be played, but now I'm really kind of like, the gears are turning in my head, and I'm seeing, wow, that's ridiculous. And then Massacre Worm, like, I love that Massacre Worm is back, because like that's just such a cool card, you know. I played with Massacre Worm quite a bit back in the days of Mirrodin Besiege Standard, when you had cards like Heartless Summoning. Heartless Summoning was a big thing. So you would play the Heartless Summoning deck. Heartless Summoning is creatures you control get -1/-1, but they cost 2 less generic mana to enter the battlefield. So that can make your Massacre Worm cost 4 mana instead of 6 mana. So it was a really big deal. And you would just cheat it out. You would clone it with things like Phantasmal Image and Phyrexian Metamorph. And you would just boop, 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 and just blow away your opponent's board state. And it was just such a house that if we have like decks that are just full of small little threats, this card is going to just blow things up. I've actually been looking for a reprint of this card for a while because I want it for things like EDH and Cube. So this is very welcome, and I'm very, very happy to see this popping up in this game once again. But let's keep it going, see what we can do here. Hey, we got Teferi, Master of Time. Phasing is back. I can't believe that they put phasing in standard, but the way that they actually do it, and the way that they give it reminder text and talk about it and talk about what its role is going to be, like, there was a joke that like phasing was like the next thing, one of the next things under banding, to like in how unlikely it was to re-enter standard. And what it basically turned out was that if you go back and look at the cards from back in those early days of Magic, so like Mirage, Visions, and I think Weatherlight, I think it was in Weatherlight as well. If you go back and check out the cards of phasing from there, they don't have reminder text. And as I understand it, this was also partially due to the fact that it was due an experiment, and they gave, I think I remember hearing it was flanking. They gave flanking reminder text, but didn't give reminder text to phasing to see how effective the reminder text actually was, and it turned out, well, surprise, surprise, reminder text really helps. And they've also changed kind of how phasing works over the years a little bit, so I feel like since we saw it with Teferi's protection, and now we're going to see it here, like, it actually feels reasonably easy enough for your average player to kind of grasp and grok. So it might actually become evergreen at some point, which just blows my mind that we might get an evergreen keyword of phasing at some point. But it's a very real possibility. So let's see what else we get. Gadrak. I think I remember reading this card. Can't attack unless you have 4 more artifacts. Beginning of your end step, create a treasure token for each non-token creature that died this turn. This card is not great for standard, but there is going to be a lot of play with this card. This card is great. The EDH, Cube, lots of places are going to love that card. We got our first little Liliana here. And a whole bunch of repeat stuff. Come on, Grim Tutor. Come on, Eugene. There we go. We got a Grim Tutor right there. Grim Tutor's a really sweet card coming out of Starter 99. Starter 99 is actually one of the first sets that I ever played it with. Because I have obviously been playing Magic for over 20 years now. And I should have brought that in with me, but I actually have the little cassette VHS cassette of the Starter 99 video, which I'll include a link to in the description because it is hysterical. Highly recommend checking it out. It's like very, very early 2000s, and you can tell it in the everything. Oh, it's great. It's terrible, but it's great. And so what do I think about this? I don't think it's really particularly that great. Maybe it might have some modern Pioneer play, but very little because, I mean, those are some real costs on this card. 3 mana is still a lot, and losing 3 life is also a big deal, especially in those kind of formats where burn is already prevalent because of the amount of life that you're losing a lot of times in those formats. I don't know how much this is actually going to impact things, but it's obviously a clear favorite for EDH, and it's a clear favorite for cubes, and it's, while the Starter 99 one has dropped a bit, it's still rare enough and still desirable enough that it's still going to hold a pretty reasonable amount of money, especially if it actually does become playable. If it actually does become playable, then you might actually see the price jump even higher. It's kind of wild. And then Peer into the Abyss, like, this card is ridiculous. So this is, target player draws cards equal to half the number of cards in their library and loses half their life round up each time. So if you combine this with Underworld Dreams, like, let's say your opponent has 40 cards in their deck, okay? No, let's even be more generous. Let's say they have 25 cards in their deck. You will make them draw 13 cards and lose 13 life. And then if you have an Underworld Dreams effect, so Underworld Dreams or the Ob Nixilis from War of the Spark, I can't remember exactly his exact name right off the top of my head. If you have that Ob Nixilis or the Underworld Dreams, then they take another 13 damage on top of that. So they'll take 26 points of damage and just die. So this card is absurd. I'm looking forward to brewing with it. That's going to be one of the next videos shortly after this. And very excited to see what we can do with this. It's not going to be great, but if I can win like 1 game with it, then I'll be happy. Alright. And then we've got a bunch of stuff we've already seen before. And we got a Eugene in our last couple packs here. Oh no, Arena, stat. Again, we've been having some issues here. Just obviously this is basically like beta kind of thing. The cards haven't come out yet. So, all right, so we got an Ugin, Spirit Dragon, 8 mana, 7 loyalty, and he just cleans house. This card is absurd. It's ridiculous. I am amazed that they even printed it again here. So, yeah, very, very excited. And that's it as far as packs go for right now. So this is the end of this video. Want to once again shout out Wizards of the Coast for giving me the opportunity to join the Core Set 2021 Early Access event. And want to also give my usual shout outs to CoolStuffInc.com. You can find cool stuff in stock every day. They're awesome. I write my articles with them. You can find my very own CoolStuffInc.com Core Set 2021 set review for Pauper on their website, and you can check that out. Once again, have links in the description below. Check those out, or check that out. And if you go and order anything on that website, then you can use the code that's in the corner there. It might be a little bit blurry, but it's TMG5, and that'll give you 5% off for your next order. And I also want to shout out cardhoarder.com. Even though I am currently doing this through Wizards of the Coast, again, thank you so much, Wizards of the Coast, for giving me the opportunity to join this and for the free account. But cardhoarder.com normally makes all my other streams possible as a result of, because I typically play a lot more on Magic the Gathering Online. So if you're looking to join in on Magic Online, play anything like Pauper, Modern, Pioneer, Legacy, whatever, they've got your sweet cards, good value, good rates. And if you even want to play for free, they've got a free 5-ticket account for their loan program. You don't have to pay anything for it, and it can let you play things like Penny Dreadful, which you can actually earn real prizes for and build up an account that way. So give them a big shout out, give them some love. But until next time, everybody, I am Kendra Smith, the Maverick Girl, and I will see you very soon, because obviously this is only part 1 in my series of videos for the Early Access Streamer event, even though I'm not streaming it. So be sure to check all the other videos in this playlist out, and I will see you next time. Until then, have fun, everybody.